Well, good morning, everyone, or afternoon or evening, depending on when you're viewing this video. Today's video, I want to talk about the corporate world and personality test. I don't know if you all had to go through that, but I had to take so many personality tests, and I'm like, I already know I'm an introvert. I don't need to be reminded constantly that I'm an introvert. So I don't know if you all had to deal with that, but I feel like the last major company I worked for, it was ad nauseum. They relied so much on these personality tests. It was just so annoying. And you were supposed to know who you were dealing with and what their personality type was, so that you could interact with them properly. So I don't know. It was just it just got kind of silly after a while. I understand the concept. Um, so what they did was, it was something called the DISC model. Don't mind me looking down, I have to read this. So the DISC model had 4 types. You could be a D, an I, an S, or a C, and that's where they get DISC. So the 4 types, if you were a D, you were a dominance type person. The I was an influencer. The S, you were steady. And C, you were conscientious. So it's just kind of funny because the traits for the dominant are direct, decisive, doer. Well, you could probably guess who those people are. That's going to be your directors, your leaders, your managers for the most part. Then you had the I's. They were the impulsive, interactive, interesting. And I found most I's I work with, they were the fun-loving, let's go paint a wall and put pink flowers on it. They were just kind of those kind of people floating around. Everything was just wonderful. And, they were just kind of the fun people to be around. That was the I's. They were still good workers. Don't get me wrong. I'm not dissing anyone's work, but that was just kind of the personality type. Then you had the C's, which were the compliant, the cautious, the careful, the conscientious. That was me. I was a C. And then I was kind of a combination of C and S. And then S was your stable, supportive, sincere person. So admin people technically or typically are the CSs, because they're the ones who are, compliant to the rules. We're not the rule breakers like the I's. The I's are like, that's okay. Whatever needs to get done, we'll just get it done that way. Rules or not. Again, your D's were just, I don't care. I want it done today. So that was the first thing. And they relied heavily on this DISC model. And you had to take it literally week 1 you worked there. Now, to me, one of the reasons that they did this was to, improve workplace communication and help individuals understand behavior tendencies, motivations, interactions. It's like, I don't know. It just seems weird, because after a while, after you work with people, you don't want to, I wonder what kind of DISC personality they are. You kind of already knew. Like, there's just basic personality types. You just have the quiet hard workers, you have the leaders, you have the fun-loving people. It's just the way it is. I don't know why we have to go through this stuff ad nauseum. Okay, then we had to take another one, and this was the color-coded one. I don't know if anyone has ever taken this one. So this is your, let's see, they were based on colors, driving on their core motives rather than just their behavior. So red was your power. Well, you can guess what that is. That would be like your D's in the DISC. Your blues, it says intimacy. Yellow is the fun, which would be like your I. And white is peace. That would be like the C. So it's just similar, just put in another way. So I think I don't know if I purposely answered the questions wrong, because I got a red on this one and nobody could believe it. So I don't know what I did. Maybe I was just trying to be rebellious a little bit, answer the questions a little off. They really weren't my true answers. I don't know. I don't remember, but it's like, oh, I came up a red. How about that? And then nobody could believe it. So see, that's what proves that it really doesn't matter when you take these tests. You kind of know the personality types already. So in this one, the 4 types are, okay, so the red are motivated by power, results, and productivity. They are decisive, proactive, responsible leaders. Yeah, pretty much not me. Blue, I don't like to be the leader role, because I just feel like it's adult babysitting. I was in some leadership roles, like a team leader and whatnot, and it just wasn't me. It wasn't for me, because I felt like I was just being, mommy there with the infighting and the bickering and the, why is it this way? But I don't know. I feel for leadership sometimes because, you know, it is kind of like adult babysitting. Okay, so then the blues were the intimacy, that's what they called it, driven by relationships, quality, and purpose. They are loyal, sincere, and thoughtful. That's probably what it should have been, because that's more like in the disc. That's more like the C, or the S, not the C. And then you have yellow. They are spontaneity, enthusiastic. They're optimistic and social. Total I in the disc program. So see, it's just these people repackaging old things. It's like, it's just nothing new. It's like, let's just call it another color, sell it for thousands of dollars, and have everyone take this test. I don't know. Sometimes the corporate world, I don't understand these leaders and why they waste money on this kind of stuff. And then your white is you're motivated by peace, kindness, and harmony. They're adaptable, patient, and good listeners, not leaders, listeners. So there you go. That's on that one. So yeah, I was surprisingly, I did a red on that one, and I'm sure it wasn't right. I'm sure I was probably purposely maybe answering a little off. I don't know, or maybe the questions were a little weird. I don't remember purposely doing it, so maybe it's just the way that it was worded. I didn't, you know, maybe I didn't get it. I don't know. I'm not sure. And then came the doozy one. This one, I don't know if y'all ever heard of the Myers-Briggs one. This is way more in depth and in a way a little freaky, and I don't know, I don't like it because I just feel like it's almost intrusive. I don't know, I almost felt like violated taking these tests after a while. I don't know about you guys. So this is the one where there's like, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 16 different personality types. So you start with, I decided to add that Myers-Briggs personality chart here. Okay, so as I was saying, sorry I was interrupted. 16 different personalities. So the first two letters are related kind of to your personality type, go figure. IN, we all know what that stands for, introvert, right? Then you had the ENs, which are the extroverts, and then you had the IS, which are more like your social type people. So then within those first two letters, they had all these other letters. So you had the INTJ, which is an architect, imaginative, strategic planners. The INTP is logician, I don't know how to say logician, innovative, curious, and logical. Then you had the INFJ, that's what I ended up being. The quiet, mystical idealist. And then the INFP was the mediator, poetic, kind, and altruistic. And then you had the, okay, so these were the ISs. So that to me, that's like the I's in disc, you know, the more outgoing people. ISTJ was the logistician, practical, fact-minded, reliable. ISFJ, the defender, protective, warm, and caring. The ISTP, the virtuoso, bold, practical, experimental. And the ISFP was the adventurer, artistic, charming, explorers. And then you had the ENs, and I think, yeah, so there's ENs and then ES. So I think the ISs were more like kind of more introverted I's, and then the ES are more extroverted because the E's are extroverts, the I's are introverts. So then you had the ENJTs, the commander, bold, imaginative, strong-willed. That's going to be your leaders again. Then the ENTP, the debater, smart, curious, intellectual. Then the ENFJ, the pragmatist, the charismatic, inspiring, natural leaders. ENFP, the campaigner, enthusiastic, creative, social. And then you have the ESs. So you have ES, so it's extrovert, social. ESTJ, the executive, organized, punctual leader. The ESFJ, the counsel, caring, social, popular. ESTP, the entrepreneur, smart, energetic, perspective. And then the ESFP, the entertainer. That's your total I's. Spontaneous, energetic, and enthusiastic. And it's like, I don't know. It was almost just annoying to dig that deep into your personality and then be labeled it. You know? I don't know. And everyone looks at you differently, like, oh, you're an INEA, you're an INFJ, you're an INFP. What does that mean? It's just, to me, I don't know. Maybe I just wasn't designed for corporate world, because it just seems so strange to me. I don't know. Yeah, here's what it says: the key dichotomies, as they call it. So the D, directed energy, is the E. Wait a minute, how does this go? E is yeah, and they say extroversion, I is introversion. I think I got that right. And then the S is sensing, the I is intuition. The T's are thinking, and the F's are feeling. And then approaching the outside world, the J are judging, and the P are perceiving. So I think I was, I was pretty bad, because apparently I was a judgmental, an introvert. Let's see, with a T, J, let's see, INTJ. So the T, feeling, thinking and feeling. Yeah, that was me totally. Thinking, feeling, judging. Introvert. I don't know. I don't think of myself as a judging person, but I feel like you get labeled when you get these tests. People might take it wrong. I don't know about you guys, but that is one thing I do not miss in the corporate world, is constantly being labeled something, judge, oh, well, you're an I, so you really can't do this job because you're not capable, because your personality doesn't fit that job. And that's the most ridiculous thing. Like, if you're a parent, I don't care if you're shy or not, and your kid's acting out, you're going to punish them. You're going to do what it takes to get their grades up. Whatever it is, you're not being an I with them. Oh, little Johnny, just, it's okay. Just sit here. I don't know. I don't know about you guys, but you can give me your comments on that. So, I mean, I understand part of it, maybe to take it for yourself and to see where you fit yourself. But to have your managers and your coworkers see this, and then they get to decide what job is good for you, what job's not good for you, and then maybe you're judged a little, like, oh, well, you're one of them, so you can't be in our whole group because you would fit. You know what I mean? It just causes, to me, it just causes more division than it does help. So definitely not for me. I don't know. I was like, oh, not another personality test. We literally took 2 full days of work to go down and sit in a room and do that Myers-Briggs, and then dug even deeper, because they put you in categories, and there was different categories, and it was kind of scary, because it's like every category I fit in, it had to do with people, and I'm like, oh boy, it just there's like you're people motivated, or you're some other kind of motivated, and it just, I don't know. Let's see, I went and closed it, and I just thought it was kind of weird. I don't know. So, being an introvert, maybe you are just more people motivated. But it made it sound like you weren't interested in anything else. It's just your main focus is people. And I just don't think we can put every person in a box like this. Yeah, maybe that's your major go-to in situations, most situations, but not always. And you grow and change as you get older. These things change. So I don't know, but yeah, you guys can look these up. So the one is a DISC. You can just do DISC personality, DISC, Briggs-Meyer personality test, and then the color-coded personality. That's what it's called, the color code personality test. So just, I don't know. Obviously, we're all bent a certain way. We all were born with a certain personality. I was the shyest little kid as a child. I don't think I'm going to change and suddenly turn into an extrovert, unless it's fake. You know what I mean? My natural thing is to just kind of be quiet, listen a lot, and that's kind of how I am. So, I don't know. You guys can let me know what you think about that. But, yeah. One good thing about being retired, again, out of that corporate crazy world and all the crazy things that they do to try to put you in a box, label you, then say, oh, well, you're not good enough for this job because, well, you're not a D, so you can't be a leader. You can't be in any kind of leadership position, and I just think that's so wrong. Maybe you just go about things in a different way. Maybe you're just more people-oriented, but it doesn't mean you can't get tasks done. Because I was in a team lead position, despite me being, an I, or a introvert, or whatever you want to call it. I know I was code red, but I know that was wrong, and they all knew it was wrong. So it's like, what's the point of even taking this test? You all know my basic personality type. I'm not the type to come in and be a dictator, you know. But I could still get the job done. I knew the job, I understood it, and that's why I got set up to be a team leader, because I knew the job and I did the job well. I don't know. So y'all have to tell me what you think about that. So it's a beautiful day here. I'll probably go out for a little walk. Maybe I'll stick some pictures in the back end of this just to show you, excuse me, what kind of day it was around here. And just another day of 62 and don't know what to do. So I'm going to go for a little walk while it's nice and warm and beautiful out.